Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to the organizers of TEDx for inviting me to speak to you today. So let's go. Talking about transferring lights through renewable energy. So here we go, a light bulb. What do you normally think when you see a light bulb? An object that brings brightness to a room, a new idea, a new thought? Maybe all of these? But if we look at the light bulb as a darkness-eliminating object, have you ever thought of what goes behind to bring such power at the flick of a switch? How energy is transformed? You know, we use energy every day. We go through our alarm clocks, wake us up, we take a bath, we dry our hair, we listen to music as we go through and fro school and work. And when we get there, we get busy. We use our laptops, our computers, and then at the end of the day, we go home, do more work. Maybe you, homework, for me, more work, have dinner with family, then take a break. Maybe watch movies, Netflix, video games. Then we close our lights and doze off. A typical day. Instant power at the flick of a switch when we press the on and off buttons of our gadgets and appliances that we use. But where does the power come from? Well, to paraphrase a very popular guy who's been quoted now twice this day and is very intelligent, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can only be transformed. And one form of energy is electric energy. And that is generated through power plants, transmitted through the national grid, and distributed by energy utilities straight to our homes. How has this come about? Well, in the 1800s, at the start of the Industrial Revolution, the big light bulb moment at the time was when we realized that we can use fossil fuel to power our industries, factories, homes, and transport. These fossil fuels, which are coal, oil, and gas, when they are burned, they release energy with incredible capacity for work. This era was also host to a myriad of inventors, such as Ben Franklin, Michael Faraday, the inventor of the electric dynamo, Joseph Swan and Thomas Edison, who are the inventors of the incandescent filament light bulb in their own countries, and overall electrical wizard, Nikola Tesla, who is a big contributor to the birth of commercial electricity. Well, the discovery of electricity can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and ancient Persians. It was actually Italian physicist, Alessandro Volta, who discovered that certain chemical reaction can produce electricity. And so he constructed the Voltaic pile in 1800s. And this is the first, actually, electric battery, which produced a steady current. And he's therefore the first person to come up with a steady flow of electrical charge. Volta is also accredited for having created the first transmission of electricity by connecting and linking positively charged and negatively charged connectors and driving an electric charge, a voltage, through them. Now, before I become too technical, and don't worry, I won't go that route too much, how do I know this? Well, I'm not an engineer. Math and I actually didn't get along at times. Maybe that's why I went into law school. But I know this not because of Mr. Google or Miss Wikipedia, but for having the privilege and to interact and work with people from the energy sector for the past 15 years, and on climate change and environment for the past 20 years. Yes, I started when I was your age, so stop computing. But I'm also blessed to have actually one of my sisters-in-law, a teacher of college physics. And she and my brother, in fact, named their first child Alessandra Ezequiel, who I fondly call Asael. And Alessandro, because you guessed it, because of Alessandro Volta. So even energy topics have infiltrated my family. My interest in energy is not just from an economic or environmental perspective, but I'm truly intrigued how energy can be transformed to make lives better, and yet still let our environment thrive. Have you ever imagined yourself living in a life without electricity, without appliances, without gadgets, or even light bulbs that are working for you? I'm sure if you make a list of all the appliances, the gadgets, the machines that are in your household, or even on your person, you would be surprised at the number that you come up with. Yet many take this for granted. Our demand for energy has growing year after year, and this allows us to do many things. And it's growing because we need it to power our homes and businesses. Yet the conventional approaches to producing energy have come at a great strain to our planet. Over the decades, we've been relying on dirty and harmful fossil fuel to power our industries and lives to the detriment of our environment. Our energy systems are outdated, and the production of electricity has become more costly. In fact, if you ask your parents, you probably can ask them how expensive electricity is at the moment. And it's not just costly from a financial perspective, it's accompanied by costly social and environmental impacts. For example, did you know that fossil fuel use consumes a lot of water and that it has negative impacts on water resources and nearby communities as a result of pollution during the production process? The burning of coal for electricity is a serious health concern globally, and it's causing more than 800,000 premature deaths worldwide each year. And our relentless demand for energy is releasing vast amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which is contributing to climate change problems that we have. And as the Earth warms up and continuously warms up, we will bear the brunt of stronger typhoons, stronger disasters that will come in harm's way and bringing hundreds of people in it. In fact, we're using more than what we need. We only have one planet, right? And yet, why are we behaving as if we have in our disposal and consuming resources as if we have 1.6 planets at our disposal? Have we already found planet B? We're actually exhausting all of our resources, or the ability of our planet to actually replenish itself and its lost resources. So this definitely has to stop. And we need to change, and we need to transform. And it starts with us, actually. It starts in how we use energy. The Earth is blessed with an abundance of natural sources of energy that is waiting to be tapped. We have what we call the big show, which is biomass, geothermal, solar, hydro, ocean, and wind. And these renewable energies are actually all around us and can complement each other to supply our energy needs 24/7. We are actually using 33% of renewable energy use in our energy mix. But we in WWF really believe that we can do better, and in fact aim for 100% renewable energy by 2050. How do we know this is possible? Well, we actually have various renewable energy facilities already in the country. We have been using run-of-river hydro since 1927, and the Philippines is one of the leading producers of geothermal energy worldwide, only second to the United States. In fact, when you ask the Department of Energy, for every 5 light bulbs lit, 1 is powered by geothermal. Our country is also blessed with solar and wind potential, which is plentiful across the country. And solar and wind technology and battery storage costs have been going down tremendously. We also have so many agricultural waste which can be transformed into biomass. And we live in an archipelagic country with long coastlines, which has vast potential for ocean energy. So, with the help of government and stakeholders like you and me and energy producers, the right energy policy, planning, and management can actually set us up for a much-needed energy infrastructure, which will realize a low-carbon future. And it's efforts like these which are extremely important in the light of the Philippines' commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement, wherein countries have committed to ambitiously reduce their carbon emissions to be able to slow down climate change. And we, including you, can actually advocate for clean energy by urging our leaders to make better decisions, implement better laws to strengthen and institutionalize the use of renewable energy here and beyond. The Renewable Energy Act of 2008 has come a long way, and we've been able to promote renewable energies through that act. In fact, guidelines are now being set wherein energy utilities are now being compelled to buy more renewable energy for on-grid and off-grid distribution through renewable portfolio standards. Households and businesses can actually generate their own power through solar rooftops and sell their excess back to the grid through net metering. And soon, energy consumers such as you and me can be able to demand our energy utilities that they will only give us renewable energy to power our homes and businesses through the green energy option. Renewable energy is good for developing countries because it actually shields us from skyrocketing imported fuel. It also helps in local electrification, especially for far-flung areas. And it also helps address energy poverty, especially for 11 million Filipinos who still live in the dark because they do not have access to electricity. We've found that even basic renewable energy systems can complement livelihood projects. Solar-powered fish landing centers can be storage facilities for batteries for fishermen. Solar water pumps can actually be used to bring water to agricultural areas, especially during dry months. And it makes gathering of water safer for women and children. In fact, even simple rechargeable solar lamps can do wonders in a community. Children can do homework after sundown, and chores can be done more with ease. Further, families will be shielded from the use of kerosene, which is a fire hazard and also a serious health concern. By using these technologies, they've actually been able to make more savings because they don't need to buy kerosene, and also it has increased their own well-being. But renewable energy has to be done also in conjunction with energy efficiency, because we all know that wasting energy is never good. So we have to ensure that all our appliances are energy efficient and that we unplug them when not in use. Even consuming food sustainably means that the energy used to produce the food is not wasted. And if we support locally sourced food, it also means that it has less energy footprint, and it took less energy to get to our plates. Reliable and affordable energy is actually one of the biggest challenges that we have today. And solving the energy crisis may seem daunting or overwhelming, but I think it can be done as long as people work together to lay the groundwork for a renewable energy future. In fact, humans can really work in harmony with nature. And the future that we're looking for in terms of balance is not in the future. It should start right now, especially when we focus on energy efficiency and renewable energy to power our cities, or even our rural areas and our industries. And we definitely have to go there because the world is now going towards a low-carbon future. And to realize that possibility, we need to connect to Earth and use renewable energy to power our dreams, drive us out of poverty, and realize the potential for our nation to be a vibrant, resilient, and sustainable nation for all. Now, wouldn't that be a light bulb moment? Thank you.